Good morning, one and all, and welcome back to Red's Homestead. I would be lying if I said it was a beautiful day. It's a nasty day. It's like 90% humidity. It's only 9 o'clock. Just got done with the morning chores, and you're already just dripping in sweat. But regardless of the heat, we've got to move these rabbits. Gonna get them into the front of our house where the grass is a little bit greener. The ground is a little bit flatter, so they'll have less chance of being able to dig out, even though they haven't since that one, and we've already sold that one and the others stay in, but just to make it a little bit safer. So the process of how we do this: first, we're gonna get the rabbits out and put them into our little carrier, because I don't want to drag them while they're inside, because I'm going to be using the four-wheeler. Once we get the rabbits out, we have to take the fence down. Hook up the tractor to the four-wheeler. Drag the tractor to the new location. Move the fence back up. Before it gets too hot. That's what we need to do. All right, rabbits have been moved. What I have to do though is we have to go to the feed store, talk to them about our bulk shipment that we're gonna have to get in August. Looking at over 1,000 pounds of chicken feed. And while we're out, I'm gonna get a long, like a 3 or 4 foot rebar, put probably in between my crepe myrtles over there, and that'll be my grounding rod for this and the other side over there if we have to keep moving. Dripping with sweat, and it's barely 9:30 or 10 a.m. Ugh. Well, after a wardrobe change and a trip to town, got my new grounding pole that I'm gonna put probably in between these crepe myrtles, because then I know I won't mow over it, and mark it with a flag just to make sure as well. So the grounding rod is in place, and the wires ran all the way over there, all the way to about right here. I'm gonna set up the T-post and get this thing installed. All right, everything's turned on, plugged in. It's only hitting about 4,000 or 5,000, but it's giving a nice little kick. That's about as much as we usually get out of it when it's in the taller grass down there. So we could weed eat it around the fence, have less grounding, but not too worried about it. It's got a nice little kick. With the temperature in the 90s, and it's with humidity and everything, feels like 100. We're in danger zone levels for the animals. If you want to see what we do to the animals, go back. I'll leave a link in the description of how we take care of the rabbits in the heat. The water bottles, ceramic tiles, airflow, different things like that. But now it's even the chickens. 100 degrees is pretty hot for chickens, especially ours. So we're gonna install a fan. We got one high velocity fan down there, We moved the ones that we did have on the rabbits. It's now facing the other end of the brooder to keep the chicks warm, because that meat chicken mouth is wide open, panting, and this is a real struggle for her. The chicks, they're okay, and 80, 90 degrees, but you just have to make sure that there's good airflow in there. So we got a nice box fan at the end. And this one, they seem to be okay. And then also, with it being on the ground like this, the chickens can come in during the day when the heat of the sun really bakes down hard. They can get down on here and enjoy that as well. So, before I start my planting, if you remember a few days back, I planted watermelon seeds to go with my three sister method, and I don't see any germinating. Not a single one over here, which is crazy. So let's go look at what Shannon's planted. So Shannon decided that she was just gonna go ahead and plant some watermelon too, since mine weren't doing so well.
And I didn't think they'd do, we've had bad luck.
Let's see. She has 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20 watermelon. That's almost 100%.
I don't know where they're gonna go. They're probably gonna go that way. I don't know where I'm gonna train them to go at this point.
Yeah, so I wasn't planning on doing watermelon over here because this is kind of the compacted area. I wanted to do them over there because we had all of that open space. So more than likely, we're gonna have to train these watermelon to go that way. And this will be a big watermelon patch, I guess.
Your watermelon weren't growing over there.
They're not. So
It's
Shannon,
like my
the brown
beds.
thumb.
Everything's dying in my front bed.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know. This is very weird, but that's our first year of gardening here. Is we are learning where to do things and where not to do things. And this spot over here is the booming spot where we're standing right now. Peppers and tomatoes are, flourishing. Probably over 100 tomatoes and 50 or 60 peppers growing. Zucchini's looking pretty good, although I see some that didn't get pollinated, so I might have to do some hand pollinating. So I got a few okras and a couple cantaloupes. Since my cantaloupes are kind of struggling, I went ahead and got a couple just to make sure we have some. One thing I love about this workshop, the temperature. It stays baking outside, humid, nasty, and it's probably 70 degrees in here, 75 degrees. Yeah. So as you might remember, we bred Miss Jen. She's about 20 days ago now. Yeah, about 20 days ago. And we want to have a bigger cage for the brooder box, a bigger brooding cage. So I got a 30 by 36 cage. All the cages in there are 30 by 30, and this is gonna be the one that litters are gonna be born in. So I have to get it built. Well, I was gonna build it, but I'm missing pieces. I only have the bottoms and the sides. I don't have a top piece. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for the day. I was hoping, Logan wants to say hi. There you go. I was hoping to get at least one more thing done, but I don't wanna do anything else outside now because it is baking hot. So, adios.